Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina, also known as Sabi. I'm a third-year applied animal biology student and a veterinary assistant. This video is gonna be a little bit of a special one. It will be based on my hobby and school and work channel, and then my talking channel. So that is a hint. I am gonna be starting a new channel this year, and it will be based on my experiences, sit down and talk videos like this. Getting into our setting goals. My goal system is called the SMART goals system, and I actually learned it from a few of the speakers that came into my university to give some speech in my first year, and also one of my favorite YouTubers, Ali Abdul. I have everything right in the computer right in front of me, so I'll be referring to the computer just in case I miss something, because I cannot remember all 23 goals. So for SMART system, it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. The specific basically means the goal has to be direct, detailed, and meaningful. And the measurable part is that the goal has to be quantitatable to track the progress or success. So means you have to have a system to track your progress of this goal. And attainable means your goal has to be realistic and you have the tools or other methods in order to achieve this goal. And then for relevant means that your goal has to align with your mission. Basically, whatever topic that you have, like the category. And for time-based, you have to set a deadline for yourself. I know that some goals, it'll be throughout the year. So that is why it's so important to have a measurable goal. So have a system, you can track it throughout the year. Now I am just gonna get into why I continue to use this goal after this year. Basically, I set 4 SMART goals to try it out in 2020, December, and I found that it really helped me to track my progress, and I was able to complete a lot of different things in 2021. I set 4 different goals and I completed 2 of them, the 2 big ones. So the 2 big ones that I completed using the SMART goal systems are, first, it's the animal experience. So I set a small goal for myself to get another animal experience, because back in first year I only had 1 veterinary experience, and I started tracking my progress by applying to so many different volunteer positions and to different clinics, to different research positions, and I actually got so many out of it. So I think I got 4 or 5 different volunteer in combination with work positions just by setting the goal and tracking my progress. And then the second one is getting a full driver's license. So the reason was, one of the silly reason was I just wanted to get it before I'm 20. That is just one of my goal. And the other reason is that because I really like traveling, so I wanted to get a full license in order to get an international license so I can drive outside of Canada. Those are basically the 2 goals that I set using the SMART system, and I have exceeded my goal. So I decided to continue using it in 2022. Proceeding into the goals that I set for 2022. Before we start, I just wanted to let you guys know the 5 different categories that I separated into. There is the career category, the health, personal development, travel, and financial goals. These 5 big categories are what I want to achieve this year. Also what brings me happiness, like traveling brings me a lot of happiness. The first category is career. For my career this year, I have 6 small goals for this one. We're gonna move through the SMART system for each one so I can explain it to you guys. The first one is try out at least 2 new animal fields. I haven't worked in any sort of farm, like dairy farm. I haven't worked in any of those, so I wanted an experience to be farm, the other one to be aquatic, so maybe at the aquarium. and the other one to be in the lab. I am hoping that I can get at least 2 different types of experiences out of the 3. For the measurability, I will be keeping track of this the same way as I did last year. So I have a system in Notion where I just place my application process in each category as we go through the application process. And then I will also email once a week to different professors or organizations if I still haven't had any chance to increase my chance of getting the experience. For the achievable part, I would say this might be a maybe, not a yes. You never know who's gonna accept you. I might not get any experience, but I might get all 3 types of experiences. We don't know. That is kind of the maybe part, uncertainty. And is this realistic? I would say the 3 ways that I might fail may be: 1, my application is not accepted by the organization. That's very obvious. And then 2, I overload myself, and that is very possible as well because I often do that. Or 3, the opportunities are rare, limited, or hard to access. For example, if the opportunity that I get accepted into is located too far away, I might not be able to go to that opportunity. And the timely, it will be throughout the year. I will apply to as many as possible throughout the year or whenever each chance comes up. So I will track it using the measurable part. The next few, except for the last one, will be my YouTube goals. This year I decided to focus a lot more on YouTube. I am gonna basically, hopefully, upload 1 video every 2 weeks. If possible, every week. The measurable part is to leave a day open for filming and another day for editing each week. I'm gonna mark that on my calendar. Is this achievable? It would be another maybe. It depends on what's going on in my life, because I might get opportunities to work in the animal field, so I might not be able to upload as consistently as possible, but hopefully I will be able to keep this promise. And the 3 ways that I might fail. This one I could only thought of 2. So 1 is unexpected life changes, which I already explained previously, and then 2, school becomes too busy. And for timely, just every 2 weeks. So I will set it on my calendar and set every 2 weeks that I have to upload 1 video. The next one is open a new YouTube channel, which is connected to the next 2 as well. So start a podcast and start a new blog. So for my new YouTube channel, based on the sit down and talk, I will be basically recording the audio to the best quality I can with my devices and start a new blog and website based on what I talk in the video. We'll see how we're gonna do that. I have never done it. Maybe this is too much of a shot. We will see. But I really wanna get started with a podcast and a new blog website. The last one is plant and animal research. As I have been working with so many different fields, with so many animals, and with one of the research jobs from my university, if you guys are interested in what I do during my time as a research assistant, I'll link it over here or over here. I was exposed to research this year and I found that it's very interesting. I'm hoping that if possible I can start a research by myself. And how I'm gonna measure that is I am gonna consult the academic advisor first and then have a research plan ready and research the funding options and start the research. I will have, same as the other animal experience, a list with categories that I can keep track of my progress. And this will also be a maybe because planning a research is such a huge project, so I'm not sure on top of my YouTube and on top of my everything else if I will be able to complete it this year. If not, then I will do it as a direct-to-study course probably for my 4th year next year. Some of the reasons why I might fail is my application is not getting accepted because some of the research funding in Canada and around the world is pretty competitive. So if I don't have the grades or if I don't have enough experience in this field, I might not get accepted. And the second one is that I might not find a professor that is able to sponsor me, because right now, due to Omicron and COVID, things are kind of in the air, so a lot of professors might not want to do anything in person. And then 3 is no funding, so it's kind of similar to the first one, because in case the research is expensive that I need funding, if I don't get any funding, then I won't have enough money to just do the research by myself. And I'm hoping to complete this by July 1st of 2021. We'll see how that goes. As for my health, I have set 3 different goals. To go back to doing my Taekwondo training. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would know that I used to compete in Taekwondo, but I have stopped it for at least 3 years now, and I just wanted to go back non-competitively and maybe do some teaching with the kids. For the measurability of my Taekwondo, basically I will contact the instructor and set up a date and make sure I just go to that date and set it on my calendar. It's pretty straightforward for measurability. Am I gonna be able to achieve this? I would say that would be a definite yes, because I already have some relationship with the instructor himself and have already talked to him, and he said that whenever I want to go back, I can definitely do so. So yeah, I'll be able to do it. How I might fail. Sometimes life does get a little bit overwhelming, and I want to make sure that I keep myself sane. So if life gets too overwhelming, then I might stop it or pause it for a little bit. But I will update you guys on this as we move throughout the year. And 2, unexpected life events. Things such as family emergency, it might prevent me from going to attend the class or to teach as I am supposed to. I am hoping to do this by February 1st. Basically, my school starts in January, so January 10th, and I wanted to see how school goes before I sign up for another activity, because I don't want to overload myself right when school starts. The next one is I wanted to be able to do a full middle split. I used to be a lot more flexible than now, and I realized that flexibility has a lot to do with your chance of injuries, because I was always a little bit more flexible than some of the kids that I know, so I believe that it has a big part to do with the fact that I have not ever been in any sort of serious ligament injury or bone injury. The measurable part is to stretch at home at least 3 times a week. So I wanted to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I know that I cannot do it every day. I have to take a rest in between. And is this achievable? I would say it would be a yes, but the reasons that may prevent me from being able to do a full split may be my physical limitations. Just because that some people just cannot do a completely full split due to, I believe, the hip bone structure. And I've never actually been able to do a completely full one. It might not be achievable, depends on the situation. And 2, it might be too much pain. I often before try to quit stretching just because of how much pain that I would be in when I am trying to stretch myself. It's a sort of sharp pain, like you're tearing yourself apart, that kind of pain that stops me. And 3 is not sticking to the routine. This is my weakness, because sometimes I get too tired from doing so many different activities that it stops me from sticking to my routine. So I have to have a calendar set up to make sure I stick to my routine. Maybe at least just 5 minutes a day of stretching. And my goal is to complete this by August 1st of 2021. The next goal is to improve my skin condition. So this goal is kind of a combination of a lot of different health goals. My skin has been freaking out so much due to the fact that I did not take care of myself properly this year. I was too focused on getting experiences and doing work and doing school that I kind of neglected my skin and kind of didn't really pay too much attention to my diet. For this one, I'm setting that I have to drink at least 1500 ml of water per day and make sure to have veggies in 2 of the 3 meals each day. And then limit my dairy consumption, because by a lot of research I have seen, dairy is one of the biggest triggers for skin condition. So I'm gonna try to limit the dairy that I have in my diet. And 4 is to wash all the beddings once a week and change the pillowcase once a day, because bed is where you sleep every day and it can accumulate a lot of bacteria. I'm hoping that I will follow the routine to make sure that I keep the bacterial growth to a minimum. And will I be able to achieve this? It would be a maybe, because skin condition, it might not just be due to all these like external dietary factors. It might be due to my hormones as well. All I can do is try to improve it. If not, then I will continue seeking medical advice, just like what I'm doing right now. The time for this is throughout the year, so I want to track my progress throughout the year by taking photos of probably my skin and see if it has improved over the month. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking it each week and then comparing it to make sure that my skin do seem like it's getting better. For personal development this year, I want to improve my Spanish speaking skills, and then I want to read more books. These are the 2 big ones. I have separated into 4 smaller categories, so I will be able to follow it easier. The first one is regarding my speaking. I want to learn to trill the R in Spanish. I'm gonna practice for 10 minutes before I study daily. And will I be able to do this? I would say this is a maybe or maybe yes, just because it might be due to physical limitations. Some people just can't do it if their muscle is already set. The second one is not sticking to the routine. So I might not be practicing it 10 minutes before I study every day. And then the third is wrong practice method, because I am not planning on getting a tutor just for this. So I might practice it wrong or practice ineffectively. And my goal is to achieve this by April 1st of 2022. The next one is also Spanish. So it's to read and understand 1 Spanish book. So I just want 1 Spanish book that I can actually focus on this year. How I'm gonna do that is by choosing 1 intermediate level book to focus on, and then by 1 paperback version of the book, because paperback version usually allows me to actually write on it and to put sticky notes on it, so I can more easily flip around and then annotate and understand the words. And 3 is read during breakfast time. I know that a lot of times I just don't have time to read, so I want to read this during my breakfast time to make sure that I get in the habit of doing so. 4, like number 2, annotate and define all the unknown vocabs. By buying a paperback book, I will be able to write on it and I can annotate beside the word. And usually by writing it down, I can remember it better. And will I be able to complete this? I would say it is probably a yes, because it's just 1 book and I'm not trying to overachieve myself. So I think I should be able to finish 1 intermediate book. How I might fail, it might be not sticking to the routine, or book level is too challenging, because sometimes if I choose something that's too challenging in the beginning, I might just not want to do it and I might lose the motivation. And I want to achieve this by October 1st of 2022. The next one is to improve my listening skills in Spanish. I'm gonna watch 1 Spanish YouTube video daily. By subscribing to 5 different Spanish YouTube channels, it increases the chance that it's gonna be on my recommendation, so I will remember to do this daily. The only way that I think I might fail this, just because I'm on YouTube so much, is I might forget to watch this video if it's not on my recommendation. So that is the only way. And how I'm gonna do this is throughout the year. And the last part is a reading goal. So I want to be able to read 10 books, including the Spanish one as one, so probably 9 books other than that one. Either Chinese or English, because I'm okay with both languages, and sometimes I find one language better than the other to explain certain concepts, so I would read either Chinese or English depending on the situation. And how I'm gonna do that is by setting 30 minutes to read prior to sleep at least 5 days a week, and then write a book summary right afterwards, so I will be able to retain the information on Notion. And is this achievable? It would be a maybe, just because sometimes I might not be following the schedule, like I might get too much schoolwork and get too tired and just fall asleep, or I might not be jotting down the notes, so I might not be able to retain as much information as I could have if I jotted down. And then I might not know which book to read next. So if I don't have a list of books that I have set for myself to read, it takes me a lot of time to know which book that I want to read next. And I just set a bunch of dates at the end of each month, and then I'm skipping the final and midterm months. Yay! So now we're on to traveling. This is an exciting one. I also have 4 different goals this year. One is a definite maybe. So the first one is already set, not really a goal, but is to go to Yukon. I am gonna be going to Yukon in a few days, so just next week. And how I'm gonna make it measurable is I already planned it. That's basically the first one. The second one is do at least one overnight hiking trip this year. I didn't do anything in 2021 just because I was working like 7 days like crazy throughout the summer. So I am gonna try to do at least one overnight hiking trip just because it makes me happy. And I'm gonna make it measurable by making sure to book off time from work and school anytime between May to August, just for a few days for me to go on the mountain. Is this achievable? I would say that is most likely a yes. I can book the time off in the very beginning and then make sure I have some time to go. Some ways that I might fail is if school and work gets too busy, I'm gonna try all my best to make that not happen. 2 is weather. I am definitely not gonna go and hike in pouring rain again. I did that one in 2020 and it wasn't fun at all. Number 3 is not having a partner to go with. I would say if you are ever gonna go on a hiking trip around Vancouver or around BC, definitely go with a partner, just because there's so many things that could go wrong, and having a partner just keeps you extra safe. For example, if one of you guys are hurt, then the other one can go call for help. I am gonna do that just before August 31st of 2022. The other one is also an easy and fast one. I can even just do this right after class or right after work. It's to go on at least one shore fishing or fly fishing trip. I am leaning more towards fly fishing because I want to practice my skills. I will go on one during the reading week. That is my plan. Ways that it might fail is school and work gets too busy. 2 is also the weather. If it's always raining or raining too hard, then I'm not gonna go for it. Or if there's lightning, then it's dangerous using a fishing rod. And 3 is broken equipment. This is pretty unlikely, but it might happen that my fishing rod just breaks and it will just ruin my trip. I'm also gonna do this before August 31st of 2022. The 4th one, this is a little bit of an overachiever just because of the COVID condition, but is to go to Mexico and then visit the dog shelter or the wildlife rehab. It depends on COVID-19, so if the situation is pretty bad, I'm not gonna risk myself and risk the people in the other country, so I will not go travel to the other country. If I'm gonna go, I will research the shelter or wildlife research centers around the areas that I'm gonna go to and put it on Notion for record purposes. And the ways that this might fail, one is not taking enough time off from work and school, and 2, pandemic issues. Yeah. The final category I'm gonna talk about is finance. This year, I have 6 financial goals that I want to achieve. I would say these are all pretty simple because I already calculated and make sure that it's within my range and I'm not pushing myself too hard. So the first one is put at least $300 a month into my investment account. I know that this year I'm gonna be focusing more on YouTube, so I probably won't have as much income compared to last year, and I also have car loan to pay off. So I'm gonna put at least $300. If I have more, then I will definitely put more into the investment account per month. I'm gonna set money aside in the beginning of each month, so not at the end. If I'm not tracking properly, then this might fail. And I'm gonna make sure I track the spending on Notion and Google spreadsheets. So this makes sure that I am actually saving money instead of spending more than I can afford. And I would say this is a yes for if I would be able to achieve it, just because I'm already doing it and I'm putting it on here just to hold myself accountable that I'm gonna continue to do it. And the second one would be to only dine out twice a month, maximum 3 times. Dining out is such a huge expense if you do that very often. So since I don't really like to dine out if I don't have a special reason to do so, I think only dining out twice a month should be pretty easy for me. I am gonna do that by tracking the spending and then refrain from dining out due to not bringing food. So I'm gonna make sure that I always bring food with me. And then 3, I have to mark the days that I am dining out on my calendar if I know. Ways that I might fail, it might be that I'm not bringing my own food. That is a big reason, because if I don't have my lunch and I'm too hungry, then I will definitely buy food from the outside. And 2 is fail to track my spending weekly, because if I don't track it, then it becomes a vicious cycle of me not knowing what I'm spending my things on. And then 3 is traveling. So if I'm traveling, I'm most likely gonna be dining out, just because you don't get kitchen access everywhere that you go. The next one is similar to this one, but is to only buy drinks from the outside maximum once a week. So I'm hoping to make tea from home or bring tea from home, because I usually drive, so I have somewhere to put my tea, like in my car, so there's no reason for me to constantly buy things from the outside. I'm just similar to the last one, track spending, refrain from buying the drink outside, and then mark the dates that I want to have the drink. Like if I want to go to a special cafe per week just to try out new things, then I will do so. Ways that I might fail is not bringing my own drink, traveling, and fail to track my spending. The next one would be pay off 1 extra year of car loan. So before I bought my car, I already paid 50% of my car off, which is $10,000. And then there's another $10,000 that I took as a loan. I wanted to have a little bit of a history, because why not? I just wanted to pay at least $3,000 this year, so I will have 1 more year left instead of 2. And how I'm gonna make that measurable is by making arrangements with the bank by the beginning of July. I have enough money in my bank account, so yeah, I will be able to achieve this. Next one is to track my monthly spending on Notion. As I already mentioned in the previous ones, I would like to make sure I track all my spending to make sure I am not asking money from my parents. How I'm gonna do that is by marking calendar of a time each week to do my tracking, and then do a finalize at the end of the month. How I might fail is if school and work gets too busy, because that's what happened starting from October of 2021. It was because I overloaded myself, so I wasn't in the right mood to track my spending, and I was too tired every day. I'm gonna prevent myself from making the same mistake again. The last one is to get to know and understand cryptocurrency. This has been something that I always wanted to understand, because I keep on hearing like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, that kind of thing, but I never actually look into it, so I'm gonna try this year. I'm gonna do this monthly. I'm gonna watch 1 video at least every 2 weeks and mark it on my calendar, and then dedicate 1 book out of my 10 books that I want to read regarding cryptocurrency. And how this might fail is that if I don't track down the specific time that I want to watch the video, I might forget to watch it. And then 2 is I procrastinate and not reading the book. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope that it brings a little bit of value to you guys and encourage you guys to also start setting some goals for yourself. And lastly, just want to wish you guys a wonderful 2022. Thank you. Bye.